Welcome back for another daily crypto market update. Bad news, friends. We're already starting to get some of these stupid price predictions. This one from none other than CZ himself. No comment, just listen.
What do you think the total crypto market cap will be by the end of year?
Maybe 5 trillion.
What do you think the price of Bitcoin tops at this cycle?
Again, very difficult question. Somewhere between 500K to $1 million.
How long you been in prison, man? You serious? Do you know what the price is right now? You sure you know what it is?
I think.
Will Trump flip Doge this cycle?
That I'm not sure. It really depends. There's 2 meme coins. It really depends.
Will Fartcoin go to $10 billion?
I have no idea. I don't even track it. I don't even know what price it is right now.
It's like 120.
Oh, okay. No.
What? Hot air rises, CZ. Will you?
It's not even worth playing the rest of the clip, to be honest. I hate stuff like this. When we start to get these egregiously dumb, unintelligent, clickbait price targets, I start to go, crap. Well, we're closer to the end than I thought. And what I mean by that, it's not the end of the world. When I start to see price targets, people saying like, oh yeah, Bitcoin to $1 million right now. You realize the price of Bitcoin is at $90,000. If the price of BTC were to magically end up at $500,000 this cycle, by the way, and this cycle should be topping out by November, $500,000 is an increase of 400%. There's no stinking way. $1 million? He's out of his mind. I don't think he knows what year it is. I really think that CZ has lost it. There's no sane person who actually pays attention to crypto who thinks Bitcoin is going to $1 million this cycle. The reason why I hate stuff like that is because we start to see the stupidest price, I can't say stupid, the most unintelligent price predictions usually mark a top. And I hate that. When everyone's starting to get bullish, we start to see people saying, oh yeah, XRP is going to go to $100 this cycle. No, it's not. There's no way. Ethereum is going to go to $20,000. No, it's going to maybe go to $4,000 and that's it. I'm not trying to be a perma-bear. I'm not even bearish at all. But I'm not like this. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Foolishness. That's the best word I can express right now. Foolishness. Especially when Bitcoin moving up 2.5% is a good day. How many more 2.5% moves would we have to make consecutively to get to $500,000? That's not going to happen. I don't care about the debt cycle. I don't care about inflation. I don't care about printing money. It ain't happening, guys. 173K is a modest target. It's a realistic target. My 3 minutes is up. Now, nothing has really dramatically changed for BTC. RSI fell below overbought levels. On-balance volume is starting to show resistance, to be honest, and I don't like this. If we look at this recent price action here, it's not really a price, it's OBV, but you can see that all of these spikes up here are stopping at the same spot. I don't care that it's a negative number. I'm paying more attention to the shape of this, okay? So this is not a great sign. Yes, the moving average is still going up, but we really want to see the blue go up higher. Ideally above these two guys. That would be amazing. Not very likely at this point, excuse me. So looking at price action for BTC right now, yes, it's clear we had a quote unquote rough Saturday and Sunday. Yesterday we closed up just a little bit. We are still above the daily cloud, guys. Things aren't that bad. Sentiment is feeling a little bit worse, though. At least that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Let me say it differently. I'm noticing I don't feel bad at all about price action. This is still amazing. Trust me, because we dodged a bullet down here at 74K, 75K. We're doing really, really well about the cloud. But given the fact that we've drawn down over the weekend, looking at charts, a lot of charts look depressed. But there are a couple of interesting signs. One is that the top 10 dominance chart, which is looking at Sol, SHIB, XRP, Doge, ADA, and SHIB, or Shiba Inu. What's interesting about this is that we're looking at RSI. We actually made a lower low yesterday. Let's see, 2205. Okay. Well, that's okay. We're still above support, which is interesting. It's taking a while, but I'm looking at this especially on the 4-hour time frame, and I'm seeing this cluster of TBT bullish divergence clusters. Actually, all these thick green tabs right there. This is a really positive sign that we should be seeing a reversal soon. Now, we saw some sort of a reversal back over here in April before we got slapped in the face, but it did it did go back up. The next sign we're going to be looking for are these orange diamonds, and I'll let you know when I start seeing those. But looking at the daily time frame, even just the price action, it's not really price alone, we're back to support. We should see, if anything, we'll probably see a pierce of this level, maybe another dump, and then a shoot back up. But a short-term target is going to be the TBO Fast line on the weekly, which is at 12.4% right there. We do have a confirmed close on last week's candle of a TBO close long, which means that the next logical step is for the price to go back up to the fast line. It might not happen this week, but that's the next move. So that's what I'm expecting. Others market cap struggled again to push back above overhead resistance. This level is long-term strong overhead resistance that we already know. This is why I was getting excited. I was like, oh boy, we're back above, because we've seen it test and pierce this level so many times, particularly back in here in mid to late January, and no tests, no pierces until back over here in late April till the current day. We're continuing to see price pierce this level. We have 1, 2 closes above, but not 3. Yes, we still have an open long. Yes, it's not looking that great, but I'm not really that concerned yet. Things are still looking relatively okay. The one thing that looks the weirdest to me right now is BVOL7D, which is the Bitcoin Historical Volatility Index on BitMEX. This is a weird chart. It's weird even without the TBO. If we look at the quote-unquote price action over the last, I'm going to say this is November up until now, like 1.5 years. We're used to seeing BVOL7D get as low here as maybe, like back over here, a low of 4. We're at 409. We're at the bottom area of the range, but we have seen BVOL7D dump more and more and more, all the way down here to 2. Back over here in 2022, in December, over here in August 2023. So there's a chance that we could see it break this bounce zone and dump super low. One thing that's really interesting right now in regards to the TBO is that we have a confirmed TBO breakdown on the daily time frame yesterday, which means that there should be explosive downside price action. But this is more of a metric instead of an actual price-based chart. And we see it oscillate back and forth. Again, I wish I could trade this chart. It'd be amazing. But looking back over the history of this chart, we have the same symbol printed here, 21st of February. And then we see a massive increase in volatility. Going back over here, 2 TBO breakdowns before a massive increase in volatility. 3 breakdowns before a not much of a huge increase in volatility. But usually seeing these TBO breakdowns means that we're at the bottom of this range before there's some sort of snap back. It's very weird right now to me still, and I'm trying to make heads or tails of this. Now let's look at some other charts. Solana is looking okay-ish. It had a green close yesterday, up just under 2%. Nothing really amazing. We still have a CME gap at about $148.15. So I do expect that to get closed today. It's only up 2% from the current price. The price is also held above the daily TBO Fast line after retracing back to it. So the next target is really going to be up here about 10% to $157. That's my opinion. Volume is still super boring, super lame, and it's falling lower and lower and lower. If we look at on-balance volume, it's starting to flip bearish, unfortunately. So we really need to see a nice burst of volume and excitement for it to go up higher, obviously, but to also make that change, that shift in on-balance volume and just plain old volume. XLM, stellar lumens, or wait, was there something here on the 4-hour? I can't remember. No, but for XLM, there is. So XLM, we saw these TBT bearish divergence signals here, which is a pro tier indicator available through the Better Traders Club. So seeing these two right here, these are early bearish alerts letting us know we could see a pullback. Then we get confirmation of that. Yep, here we go. Here's our two TBO close longs. Price goes down just a little bit, just 9% or so. And now we're seeing the opposite. Now, the reality is that when we see the slow line moving up and we get these are conflicting signals, and it's actually not as valid, even though it actually worked out. But when we see the slow line moving up and we have bullish divergence signals like this, we can look at this and go, oh boy, we should be seeing a snap back up higher. I don't know necessarily about right up there to 29 cents, but I do think it makes sense to see some sort of an uptick higher for XLM based off of that. Now, SUI had a really nice push on yesterday's close. It moved up about 4.5% on the day, but wick to wick is a little bit more. But notice, where did it stop? It actually wicked into resistance at 342, which is exciting. This chart's great for trading because it's in a strong uptrend. Even though it's chopping inside of the 4-hour cloud, it's still really good for trading. The best part about this, and this is why I can say it, volume exceeded the moving average yesterday, which tells us that there's still a lot of interest and excitement around this chart. So while it could have a pullback and it might go a little bit lower today to maybe like 302, we can expect it to keep oscillating back and forth because there's demand for this chart. AVE is in process of printing a TBO open long today. Now, today's candle literally just started, about 36 minutes ago. So this can't really be like confirmed until 23 hours and 23 minutes later. So we still got a lot of time to wait. But this is a promising sign, and closing above the 0.5 fib level is great. Again, I have a short-term target. Actually, I think midterm is a safer way to say it, but midterm target of the 0.618 fib level, which is about a 35% increase for AVE. I think that's a reasonable target for this chart. TAO, this one is oscillating really, really, really well. Yesterday, it pumped about 9% right up to TBO resistance, actually into it. And today it's going to probably fall back down again, probably here to about 347. But this is good, to be honest. Everything is looking all right. Now, volume did not exceed the moving average like we saw with SUI, but still, this is good volume. It's on par with what we saw last week on Wednesday and Friday, even though volume is falling. I'm okay with this, actually. This looks fine. KASPA, this one had an okay-ish bounce yesterday of about 5%. It did not reach TBO resistance at 10 cents or so. Volume did slightly exceeded the moving average, but look at this volume. Like, this is massive. So even still, even if it has a pullback down here to 0.09 today, it's worth trading this guy because it's oscillating really, really, really well. And the volume is there to support it. Now, S is a little bit different. Volume is not exciting on this chart. Yesterday was really boring. Actually, Sunday's volume, the weekend volume, was better than yesterday's closing volume. But I've noticed a pattern with this chart in regards to the TBO. We can clearly see it oscillating a lot. We see a pump and a return to the TBO Fast line. It goes a little bit below, pump and return, pump and a return, pump and a return. So I'm expecting a pump to be coming our way for S soon. I don't know about if it's going to go right up to this level, but we are looking at something happening here where we're getting higher highs each time. We do have resistance over here. Let me back up the truck. We have price-based resistance at, let me get the right number, 0.6363. I don't know if we're necessarily going to see S shoot right up to that level of 24%, but S has been a really fun chart for trading because it's oscillating on the 4-hour time frame. We can also see a really nice pattern of this guy too. So interesting. Speaking of trading on a trend, that's fun. FLR, FLR on OKX has been really, really fun. We talked about this one a while ago at the beginning of April when the price action and the volume was just looking amazing. We had a really exciting pump. TBO close short, return to the TBO Fast line, which is our beautiful entry for a TBO springboard bounce. It's doing really well. Now, even though it's not just mooning, we're seeing a lot of these upper wicks. You might think, oh, this isn't a great chart for investing. No, probably not. But for trading, this is amazing because if we can zoom in with the TBO, we can identify so many of these whips back to the fast line and just trading over and over and over, even if it's a small amount. Look at that. And right up there to resistance, 15%, it goes right back. Pump right there into resistance. So charts that are on a strong uptrend like this on faster time frames are going to be really fun and profitable for trading, at least to me. Floki has, we have an open long here on the daily that printed on Monday the 28th of last week. It has now since fallen back to the TBO Fast line, and it didn't cross below. We actually have a positive close of 3%. So the next thing I'm expecting is a move up here to resistance at about 8615. So it's an increase of, I think that said like 12% from the current price. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. HNT Helium, this one has retraced back to the daily TBO Fast line, and I'm expecting it to do another one of these similar bounces right up there to resistance. AMP, this one is looking really, really fragile right now, but on the 4-hour time frame, we're seeing our first TBT bullish divergence signal in quite a while. The last one is back over here in the 1st of April. No joke. So this one right here with an ascending slow line is looking pretty decent. Now, I wouldn't get super greedy with this. I'm not going to be trying to aim for the very tip top of this wick right up here for 20% perfectly on the dot. But the more of these that we see, the more confidence that I will have that we should continue to see AMP start to make a nice reversal, which I think that's what we're seeing. AKT Network, or AKT, which is available on lots of different exchanges, had a really strong burst of volume yesterday. On Coinbase, 3.7 million, where the average is 1.4. So exceeding it just a little over 2 times, which is actually, no, has to be 3 times. It's really, really, really good though. And we're looking at the price action shooting above resistance, which is exciting. On the 4-hour time frame, it just wicked into the TBO resistance line here. It hasn't closed above it yet, but we're just getting started on this new 4-hour candle. But really, really, really good. I like price action like this, even though it's whippy. Look at this TBO slow line starting to curl up, telling us that this trend is strong on the 4-hour. Last but not least, Beam, similar to a lot of these ones we talked about so far, had a really nice burst of volume here on Thursday. Volume has since died down, so has the price, but look where it retraced to. We had a 5% close yesterday. The next target is for it to pump up about 20% to TBO resistance. Now, I have a couple of these other ones right here. But before I get to these, I do want to switch things up and let you know that we have tons of other charts, trade setups, market analysis, indicators tools like the TBO TBT divergence at thebettertraders.com. This looks weird. Why is there that black gap? I didn't resize it. There we go. Perfectionist much, and a perfectionist would have to correct themselves. So called myself out. We have really good courses at the Better Traders. We also have the Better Traders Club. If you want access to the TBO, join the Trader tier. If you want TBT divergence and basically everything we have to offer, join the Pro tier. And I also want to remind you that I will be in Toronto next week, which is crazy. It's happening so fast, for the first ever Better Trader Summit in partnership with Altrady. So I want to bring that to your attention first before I finish this out. Now, these last ones are interesting for several reasons. Dexy confirmed a TBO close short. We've seen a lot of these. We've seen these happen for Bitcoin and Ethereum, lots of other charts. This is an exciting bullish reversal signal. So seeing this is great. I don't necessarily want to chase. I would much rather wait till the price retraces back to the TBO Fast line. We can automate this with Altrady, by the way, by creating an alert so that when the price crosses the TBO Fast line once per bar, as soon as it happens, then it will start a new trade. So I actually don't have to wait and keep moving it up. Like, I can use Altrady to automate a lot of this, which is really, really cool. Solana BTC. Yeah, a BTC pair. This one is printed 2 TBO close shorts on the 4-hour time frame, and actually a really good spot. It's not on top of support, but this is only like 2% or like 1.6% away from support. I like this a lot. It's way better than some of the charts I've seen where these TBO close shorts print like 10%, 20% above support. I am expecting something similar to this to happen next. So Solana should be outperforming Bitcoin, probably moving up here to about 0.0016523. Now, understand that trading BTC pairs right now is extremely risky. Extremely risky, okay? But it's interesting. Another interesting news, Onyx Coin printed a TBO close long on yesterday's daily close. We did not see RSI go below 25 yet, but this is a bearish symbol. We've seen many of these happen before. what we want to ideally do is if we're still holding this, we haven't taken profits yet. We want to take some profits when the price gets up to, or rather touches, the TBO Fast line. Again, you can automate that with an alert on Altrady, which is really, really, really helpful. Now, these last three, just interesting things to watch. Litecoin was not able to close above this level of price-based resistance and TBO support, which is now resistance. It's actually fallen a little bit. Boo. I want to see it go higher. Ohm is in a very precarious spot. Not only has it printed a TBO breakdown on the daily, it's also starting to bounce off of support. Yesterday, it made a low slightly lower than our low over here at 36.90. There's a chance that Ohm could bounce from here, but if you're holding out for this to be the ultimate Pico bottom, just stop doing drugs. That's all I'm going to say. That's unrealistic. Yes, we are due for a pullback. Due for a balance of some sort, but there's so much going against this chart. Just be realistic. Last but not least, Jito is very strong bearish, but it has retraced back to the daily TBO Fast line. I would only be looking for a quick little move up to the TBO Fast line, not looking at this as the ultimate bottom. And that is it for today's market update. So until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.